Hey guys, we're gonna get right into it. So, 235, like I said, I'm gonna be slapping a carb kit in it. 3 bolts. These are T25. Most of this stuff is T25. 3 bolts of top cover. Get that out of the way. You should probably already have that off if you're looking at the carb. And this handle, the trigger handle, and this top handle also has to come off. Really easy. Anybody can do this. So this guy is 3 bolts, 3 T25s, and the handle also has 3 T25s. So let's get these out of the way. And I just had this handle apart because I was fixing the trigger. I just got this saw really cheap. I got this saw with a 260 MS 260 for $100. This saw, it's missing the chain brake handle and chain brake assembly, but we are going to just send it. So you get this off. Okay, this trigger is super simple. I just got this safety which stops the trigger from going up. You press this down and right there it lets the trigger slide up. So just pop this out, and then here's the pivot point for the trigger, and that's what actually was broken when I bought this. But like there you saw, you just pivot that off the pin there, and this I actually super glued back on, but it is stout. It is awesome. This Loctite 420 is no joke. So there's that. Once you get this far, you can focus on these 3 top handle bolts, and then we get that out of the way. I'm gonna set this trigger assembly over here. 3 bolts. Try not to mix match stuff because on this top handle there are some longer bolts. Shortest bolt was in the back. So now should be able to, this spring just wiggles out of there. It's got that bushing in the spring that the screw goes into, and now pull this, your actual engine out. Bam. Okay, now from here you'll be able to get to this screw and this cover. See, it's not attached to the actual case. This screw will come out. Let's see, what is that? That is a small Phillips. So we are going to be doing this together because I have never had this all apart past this point. Small screw there. Okay, now you want to take a close look at everything. Obviously that was your trigger, and that's going down to the right side of your carburetor in there. Leave that set. From here, I know you got to take this stop lever off, but we are going to go this route. So T25 again. Pop this guy out, your actual air cleaner. I know they got to make these saws cheap because, you know, they're not very much to start off with, but I do not like that style air cleaner at all. Inside doesn't seem too bad. All right, we're gonna pause you again. I think these are 8mm. Yep, 8mm. First time using the new snappy socket or snappy stubby quarter. Got these in a NASCAR set, 3 ratchets, brand new, never used, from 2001 for $200. Pretty happy about that. 1/2 3/8 and this quarter ratchet and the NASCAR, brand new in the box. So from here we'll get these nuts off, and then we'll, so it's a flathead right here to get that kill switch off. Okay, 2 nuts. Bam. What's that? That looks like not that. All right, so we're gonna get a smaller than a T25 Torx. Be right back. Okay, T20 for the win. Oh boy. That goes down into your intake boot, your plastic intake down there. Okay, there's those. Okay, I'm gonna pop this off the kill switch here. I should be able to. Or actually, yeah, hang on. Always keep your scrunch handy. Boy, that is small. Sorry guys if you can't see that. Okay. There we go. So basically kept this all one piece. I'm just gonna push this to the side. Okay. Now let's see here. What else we got? Okay. Then that will be able to come off. Like I said, your kill switch was pivoting right here. Now that that's out of the way, oh yeah, see how dirty this is. Now, kill switch, or sorry, your choke. Let's just leave that on there for now. Okay. Wipe some of this dirt out of here. Boy, she's dirty, huh? Okay. So now, off of our primer bulb, fuel line going down on this side, and then this side goes straight to the tank. And we got another guy jumping over to this side. Try to carefully push those fuel lines off. because they are stiff. Guys, if you don't have a pair of needle nose like this, you should get you a pair. These are the 223G Protos, and boy, do I love these things. Now this, I'm just trying to twist this line. Oh, there you go. Hey, popped right off there. Now we can focus on. There we go. Alright, put that back there for a second. Get your old gasket out of here. Nice. Yuck. Trying to clean some of this shit out of here. Okay. So that's your throttle. Goes on that side. You want to keep this stuff clean because this dirt can go in and it can score the face of your piston there. You do not want it sucking dirt in. And that's why I do not like that air filter. Okay guys, so from here, I'm going to pause you. I'm going to get this carb cleaned up. We're going to dig into the bottom, get us a carb kit in there. Okay guys. I'm going to keep all this new stuff on the right side. Just try and keep it all divided. Alright. Carburator. Grab the cobby. You can use a flat or Phillips on this guy. I chose Phillips because screw flatheads. Here we go, pop this off. Okay, there's this. You just want to remember where everything is at. That's the hardest part for me on these. So you can take yourself a little pick and you can kind of work at these. All these gaskets have small tabs that stick out. Not that this is good. You can scratch this up and it don't matter. You don't want to scratch the carb, but so if you see that, which I believe you can, alright. There's the gasket first, and then our little pump, basically. And that big side is down, and that depresses your needle. Your needle is over here. I'll come in closer for you. Your needle's over here, and that pump presses on the lever, and when the lever gets pressed, pulls that needle up, and that needle lets gas by. And this is getting pumped with the vacuum off the crankcase. When you're pulling it over, that crankcase pressure pumps and lets that needle up, letting gas by. Okay, so I said I was going to set all the old stuff over here, huh? So we got a thick gasket. this facing down on top of the gasket, okay? And now we've got a small Phillips holding our needle and spring and our lever down here. So this can be very meticulous. It can be a huge pain. The first one I did was not fun. Ooh, she's tight. Okay, your small Phillips. And this is the small screw you definitely do not want to lose, because one did not come in the kit. Alright, set that up with our other screws. And now you can see here that spring is wanting to push it out, okay? So here's our rod that can slide back and forth. That can be a huge pain when you're trying to install the new one. Take our spring out, and you should be able to get your fingernail in that needle. Pull that out, and from here, just check it out, inspect it, look for dirt. You can, where that needle is, you can blow some carb cleaner down through there. I've heard people say that carb cleaner is not meant for these small carbs, but you can use whatever. Some people use spray WD-40 in them. Okay, we got to that point. Now, the other half. So, where's the rest of the stuff go? Okay, here's where the rest of the stuff goes. Small Phillips. And those are two different sizes, so can't get them mixed up. Here's that teeny bit of gas. Okay. Here's where our screen is. Boom. Our screen is super clean, actually. Just a tiny bit of stuff in there. And that tells you a lot. That tells you if your fuel filter in your tank is doing its job, which looks like it is. Okay. Now see how this kind of has some shape to it? It looks like it's bulged out right there. I don't know if you, almost looks a little bulged out. That's not supposed to be like that. That is supposed to be flat. Flat as could be. So in here, alright, I got this thin little, it's like paper thin. Feels like a little piece of plastic or something. Then you got another gasket. these little ridges in here, that's what actually makes the seal against the gasket. And you want to make sure that that stuff is clean. See that gunk coming off of there? We're not sitting too bad right now. And you want to be careful because you don't want to scratch the aluminum here. It's Husqvarna, but they ran this Chinese carb, the old Zama carb, Z-A-M-A. Okay. What am I doing setting that dirty stuff over here? Okay, just like that. There's that side. My dirty fingerprint off of it. I'll set that down. Now the screen. Take you a pick, or it can be a 90 or whatever. Small screwdriver. Puts that clean. Man, I almost hate to change it. Just keep it for a spare, but it looks like I have 2 carb kits, so there we go. Oh, look at that junk. Should have done a little bit better job cleaning this thing, but as long as there's no dirt on the inside. Okay. Grab that new screen. And what I've found has been good is take something small that fits in there. Even this bigger Torx is about big enough to fit on the inside there. Yeah, just gently seat that down. There you go. New screen's in. And we should be able to put this back together. Just like this. Alrighty. Now for the hard part. I'll bring you guys in a little bit closer here. Okay, like I was saying, putting this needle in your spring back end is not fun at all. But with a little patience, you can do it. So here we go. So this guy, the tab, the little fork right there, that's going to hold your needle, and you're going to want that up, just like that, angled up. You see how it's kind of angled there? So now your needle, it's going to slip in there. It's going to be dangling around. Alright. What you want to do first is you want to get your spring set down in there. Woo! So remember where your spring went? Right there. Now this tiny little, that ball right there, that ball looking thing, that's going to sit down straight on that spring. It's going to go right on top of that spring. Now I might actually try and use a small magnet of mine. Oh, and this is stainless. No. Okay, never mind. We're not doing that. Okay, so you got to put your rod in. Got to put your needle in. And then very gently try and get that seated down into the spring here. And if you are a shaky person, good luck. Holy moly, look at that, first try. Good thing I got that on camera. Now, remember where you put your screws, because you do not want to be looking for this thing, especially if you got it on the first try. That'd be some bad luck, huh? Okay. Just like that. And that's what it should be doing. And notice how that rod is offset to one side. So when you're trying to slip it in, don't have that centered up. Have it pushed over a little bit when you go to slap it in, or else that rod will just hang you up and will make you upset. So now, basically, just throw our gasket in. Let's see here. Yep, I see that teeny little hole there. I'm gonna assume just like that. Okay. Now remember, the big side went down. Okay, you got a pin here. You got your pin there. And you got your hole right there in the next to where your bolt goes. So now, gently set it back down. There. I don't know if you heard that pop in there. Well, there we go. Now, slap 4 bolts back in there. And we're off to the races. Now I'm going to just speed this up, me putting this back together. Because I'm going to try and do it quick. I'm not going to explain much. It's going to be the same thing as taking it apart.